Hello, everybody. Welcome to Have Game, Will Play. I am the freshly shaven paladin, and today we are playing Frogware's The Sinking City. So, this is inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. So, guys, I know nothing about this game. I think I've seen the earliest concept images of this, so I know that there's, when I loaded this, it showed, the Cthulhu type creature. Um, so it showed the Cthulhu type creature. It showed the private detective. He has a backpack on. Outside of that, I know nothing about this game. I don't know the name of the character. I don't know what's going on. I know that he comes to this literally sinking city. Parts of it are completely submerged. He has to travel by boat. That's it. I also know that the game is developed by Frogware, and I'm very familiar with them because I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, and I don't just mean the games. I mean I've watched so many movies, and one thing you might know about Sherlock Holmes is as far as singular characters go, he is the one fictional character with the most movies made about him. I'm a big fan. So I didn't get in from the beginning. The first one of the games I played was, I believe it was the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. That really kicked me into gear. I played that a lot. And then, of course, I played the next couple games. If it was what was a Crime and Punishment, and then The Devil's Daughter was the last one. I really hope that right now, after the launch of Sinking City, that they're working on another. But anyway, guys, big fan. If the detective stuff from those games are anything to go by, I think this is going to be just fine. So let's dig in. Now, I will say, before I start this, I may have to pause it and tool around with where the camera is and where my broadcast block is on this as well. Settings, difficulty. It actually starts you on newcomer. Let me see some evidence in your casebook will have an icon to indicate you can use it to advance the case. Monsters have standard health, and your character has standard resistance to insanity. Nothing changes in combat. Nothing ever changes in combat? Ooh. Let's see. Evidence in your casebook will have an icon to indicate you can use it to advance the case. Evidence in your casebook will have no hint icons, leaving you to work out what actions to take next. I think I'm gonna go with that. I wonder if I can change it at any time, though. Now, I have a really weird TV, and I always have to put that up, so I apologize. I'm going to... But the casebook contains your main case, which reflects your overall story progress. You can work on more than one side case at the same time, okay? Cases contain information about investigations in the form of evidence. Some pieces of evidence have icons that hint at what action to perform. So dialogue, search archives, search location, use item. Get evidence, interact with objects and people, combine clues in your mind palace, and take photos. So I wonder if the mind palace actually works the way that the evidence works in Devil's Daughter. That'd be cool. Street names and districts are shown on the map from the beginning. Most other landmarks and points of interest have to be discovered, which are institutions with archives, got a little orange stripe, the police badge on them. Landmarks have the anchor. The compass little thing is the fast travel point. Destinations are activated when you access the phone booths around the city. The gray magnifying glass investigation scenes icon appears when location is discovered. Color of the icon changes according to investigation progress. If there's yellow, investigation scenes, key evidence is collected. If there's green, all evidence is collected. Press A to place markers on the maps. The blue little beaker there is evidence. Marks are shown for the currently selected case only. A skull, generic red marks are always shown. Huh. Use mind's eye whenever you see distortion in the corners of the screen and hear a ringing sound. Hold A to see the full picture. Mind's eye can reveal omens that guide your way. Retrocognition allows you to understand events that happened in the past. Inspect enough evidence on the scene. Oh, okay, that's fine. So kind of like reviewing scenes in... I guess it wasn't how they did it in Batman Arkham Knight, but Arkham Origins, I believe, is what happened there. Investigation of the main case reveals clues for your mind palace. Combine pairs of relevant clues to get evidence, crucial information for the case. Deductions, so same thing as Sherlock Holmes, pretty much. Padlocks and weak planks can be broken with a shot or a melee attack. The hell? If you are crouched, hostiles are less likely to detect you. Enemies may harm your sanity as well as health. Some enemies have unique abilities that may come as an unpleasant surprise, but most have weak points too. Ammo and supplies are scarce. Scavenging, crafting, and quest rewards are the only source of supplies. Cool, okay. Guns are not going to reload themselves. Oh, bloody hell. Not looking forward to that. The harpoon stuns hostile creatures for a short time. Flares light your way. This is going to be a complicated game. Aim, run, fire weapon, items, climb with Y, reload with X, crouch with B. I'm sure it's going to show me all of this anyway. Whew. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outburst of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Mass. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours. A city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes Vanderberg. Fast travel can be performed, blah blah blah. Oh, it's still loading. Well, now is a good time too. Not a sponsor. So I worked until 4 o'clock this morning. I haven't slept yet. It is now, I'm pretty sure it's what, noon? 12:30-ish. So is this is the Charles Reed? What's up, guys? I initially set an alarm to wake me up at 12:30. Oh well. He is not a fan of being on a boat. Huh. Oh, super huh. Nope, let's ignore that. Alright. Okay, so I will be right back. I have to change something here. I don't know where's the best place to do it, but alright, let's try that.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Okay, so that's just what I read already, I think. It's a folding camera. What? Looks kind of ominous. The all-seeing eye.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Monolith National Park is waiting for you. $10, that's where the game ends.
Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment
The
you
animations leave a lot to be
Much obliged, Mr.
desired
Frogware.
here, but it's what
Guess
I
didn't
kind of
expect
expected
you to
coming
mean
into
so
this.
literally.
arrived. Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you make
Yeah, but why wouldn't it be marked on the
I'm
map?
sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature. Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
Setting up a character for investigation.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds...
That's a nice name, yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Fair.
What's the
fair.
best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
What places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper.
That's nice of
Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No.
A very inviting
the pleasure
fellow.
was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Of course he is. So let's take a look at this map. So it looks like it's kind of divided into different districts, almost like one of the an Assassin's Creed game, or Don't Nod's latest Vampire. Oakmont City Port. Alright. Okay, so it does kind of show you. And the first thing you see is the big tentacly squid. What's the name of the boat? Ha! Of course it is. Taking me to my death. And what is this guy doing?
The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The
he's
seed
tattooed.
is sowed. The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The seed is sowed.
Okay. I kind of want to just look around the port. The Titania lifeboat.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
So there's a definite theme going on here.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Something with this helmet.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Do you like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
So I can actually go in the water. I'm not really used to that kind of treatment in a video game these days. But it's also not letting me do anything. I was hoping to get up here. But this looks like it's the map's edge. And of course, I moved my broadcast bar to the exact spot where my health and what I believe is probably my sanity is. So I'll be right back again. I wish they'd finally do away with this broadcast bar thing, or at least make it super transparent like Mixer. So I can run a little faster with the right trigger here. Doesn't really seem like there's much to find. I think that's just where I came from.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me.
Looks like an
Are you
ape.
Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles
Is
Reed.
he an ape?
I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said,
Help me help you.
Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly.
Seems like.
They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did
I'm
you
trying
not
to avoid
listen
another
at all?
question.
I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore.
Probably the
in a
lifeboat we already
This
found, is
fisherman
my
supposedly
guess.
brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Okay. So let's take a look at our case book. Oh, jeepers. There is literally nowhere I can put that bar. So far, that's the best. I have it up in the top right. Pin evidence. Okay, there we go. Right, Robert's request. Today's fin Robert won't allow anyone to leave the port, and he won't help you. The key to the room. Johannes. Throgmortons and Innsmouthers are in an ongoing feud. Albert returned unstable. So who else can I chat with here?
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
I've said everything I know.
Alright, so before I go into that house, I'm going back down to this lifeboat. Because I feel like this is exactly
Where's
what
your
they
Oberon,
want me to find.
Titania?
Well, there seems to be... Oh, his will. He wrote it. Anyway. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor, unreadable. I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Unreadable. And the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father. Unreadable. He's here.
Something with this.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took
You
over
like
the
it here,
fishing
newcomer?
business.
Well, get used to it.
Probably went back to the ocean. That's gonna be my guess. There's flies around, but that could just be because of the fish in the waterfront. Let's see what's going on here. Let's dive a little deeper, shall we? In here, just filleting a fish. Place is gross.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
What?
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Looks like something might have jumped out there.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh,
Albert?
okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
That's
I
fair.
want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying
What
Throgmorton's
business?
son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me... That
sounds familiar. Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsider, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea where Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. K have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, Detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, K, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
That's a good call. Good call.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Oh, that's gonna get a little creepy, I think.
Five cards short of a full house.
So there's 3 rooms.
Choo choo. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
I totally forget what it said about this. I remember it said something about the blurry stuff on the edges of the corner, but I just can't remember what.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Oh, that's strange. Past. Expect enough evidence on the scene and a vision will emerge. Okay, I don't get it. Get! Oh, here we go.
Take this, ape-face.
Someone has a gun. It's got the big barrel.
Yeah, run!
It looks to me like what probably happened is that when what's his face went out, was his name Barry or Billy or whatever his name is, when he was out trying to call Robert, Lewis might have tried to kill Albert.
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Oh
What's
crap, okay. I think I see
happening?
Yeah, run! Take this, ape-face.
So I don't know if that happened first. It seems that more than likely though. He got up from his bed.
What's happening?
There was something going on out here. He came out to confront it.
Take this, ape-face.
A gun was pulled on him. He came over here.
Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
dead. I still hear those voices.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
So it said that key evidence is found, but not all evidence. I'm gonna take
5
a
cards short
second
of a
look
full
around.
house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
This is no way to open that, and it's not doing the weird thing it was doing earlier.
Never seen.
Anything on the other sides?
So that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Well, regardless, that's everything up here. Maybe there's something down there.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Maybe there's something here now that, now they know what to look for.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
So the guy that owns this place takes meticulous care of his things. It looks as I thought. Blood. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got. Will Hammond, the fisherman, lives with 3 other colleagues, Barry Paul and an Innsmouther named Lewis Flynn. Will told me that Barry found an unconscious Albert Throgmorton and brought him to their house before leaving to inform Robert Throgmorton. Albert woke up and started making horrible sounds. His hysteria seemed to spread to Will, who began to see visions similar to mine. When he recovered, he found Paul dead on the floor, and there was no trace of Albert or Lewis. House brawl. A fisherman brought unconscious Albert Throgmorton to his house on the left. When Albert woke up, he caused an outburst of hysteria and attacked the rest of the fishermen. One of the fishermen shot him and Albert fled through a hole in the wall. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh boy. Albert attacked the fisherman. Okay, let's start with this. Albert returned unstable. Albert Throgmorton spread some sort of psychotic influence which made everybody nearby suffer hysteria. Okay. I'm content with that. I mean, is there really a fisherman missing? One fisherman missing. Frick! Lewis shot without warning. As people suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons, that could be a reason to hate them. I can track down Albert. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Perfect. Albert attacked the fisherman. There's nothing to really check that with. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. So I should go back to the house. This is kind of cool.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let...
Am I missing something? What is that? It's not doing the thing it said it's supposed to do. I'm gonna ignore it anyway.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
There's something going on with the camera here. It's very disorienting. These were on the boat as well, these markings.
There's something in the pocket.
Sure is. Lewis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping around the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Ooh, okay.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have gotten far.
I'm not going upstairs. Oh, I guess I'm not. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's the first little questy mababa, right? So...
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. The door won't budge.
Yes, it will. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. What is that? Get! Get! Kill it with fire. And I've noticed that Lewis is still nowhere to be found, assuming, of course, that this is
one fatal
Albert.
round to the forehead.
Yeah, it's Albert.
That's no accident. This was deliberate.
See, it's doing that weird thing again with the camera. All right. Lewis pursued Albert. No? Yeah. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throgmorton rather than just drive him off. Lewis left the crime scene. Oh, that makes sense. Lewis, the Innsmouther that killed Albert Throgmorton, may be hiding at the bar in Oakmont Port. There's some sketchy ass shit going on here. Oh hey, I found it. Ish. I found it. Ish.
Oh. Yeah. Hey. Got a
Oh,
spare
wow.
bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Yeah. Well, they just showed up out of nowhere.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
Alright, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Some other time. Maybe.
As you wish.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Alright.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Rock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Alright. I wonder if there's anything I can do for a beer. Yes.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
I'd like you to tell...
Splendid.
Let's hear what my future...
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars, circled by the dead. A race from one to the next, as time itself laughs.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You are welcome. I can't wait to see what you do.
Achievement unlocked, tempting fate, have my fortune read.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Get the... Oh.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Ugh. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say.
And using the madness as a cover-up.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
I've said everything I know.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something,
What? I don't have all day.
some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family, and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Okay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I'm looking into an outbreak of erratic behavior and madness, all linked to shared visions of this place.
Indeed. Then our goals align. This inexplicable hysteria has spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological
Didn't realize that
activity
was down.
may
That
be
was up. Sorry, guys.
responsible.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar
What I was saying
nightmares.
before was I think
Indeed,
that my
Professor Doe, the
decision
expedition leader, complained
with how
about
to
herself.
deal
Waterlogged
with
ruins with unnatural
Lewis is gonna bite me in the
architecture,
butt.
a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert is... Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Do you think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to
It
find out
is suspicious.
what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe, and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Cool. Cool. So what's next? Oh, should I give him the will?
I gave you clear instruction.
Yep, apparently not. Asher, it's in northern Coverside, corner of Asher and Hubert Avenue. So like right there. I have to go over there anyway. So I'll place a marker. I like that. I really like that. So what's over here? Asylum. Frogware Manor in Old Grove. Reed Heights. Huh. I'm a Reed. Well, I mean the character's a Reed. The Advent. Whatever that is sucks.
Did I not?
But alas. Uh-oh. Loading or cutscene? Oh, looks like I found my hotel. Earl Throckmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria grouping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Earl Throckmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. It was hard to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Alright. My diary, part 1. I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops, another thing named after mythology. Only remember the screams and the metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache, the worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of a boat helped me survive and reach the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half-mad, and babbling about the ancient ruins and their denizens. The officials said none of what I thought I'd seen was real. But my memories are true. My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering. It still haunts me.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers. No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
I like that. Ha! Holmes. You. Oh, it's that guy. Vishik. Oh, Vishavanka. Whatever that means. All that we see or seem is just a dream within a dream. Charles Reed.
Never again, they say.
Note from Johannes Vanderberg. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throgmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take better care of yourself. In the future, I won't be there for you every time. So I know there's a crafting element to this game, but what it is, I yet not know. We got glyphs all over the floor here. The nightmares. They boarded up the windows and locked the door. They are just men, the Yellow King's gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares. The Yellow King. It's Vanderberg, guaranteed. Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors, I'll make you pay for any scratches.
The door won't budge.
More gunpowder. Huh. Too many coincidences. So the lighthouse is out. Several ships have gotten lost at sea, and some are now decorating the city's beaches. That's one thing. But now there's an enterprising fellow at the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tidy profit from selling them. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look into it. Now, if only the city wasn't so impossible to navigate. Let's get a picture of Throgmorton, or a Throgmorton. Alright, downstairs.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you wanna stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Aren't we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish. I'm watching you, newcomer.
So have a look around here. Walter, Kay help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap, affordable living again. I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop houses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Dear Victor, how is Oakmont treating you? Should you require any support, the Blackwoods would be happy to help you. I've arranged for that. Regarding your question, I don't know where Robert went. Sadly, only that he did not stay in Innsmouth. Perhaps there is hope that he didn't perish in that cursed raid. Take good care of the hotel, please. Plenty of our relatives were interested in the property, but you're still my favorite nephew. I know the Devil's Reef is in good hands. On question. let's take a look. See, this city, no matter how badly the flood damaged it, has no natural appeal. I can't stop myself from walking, even if it means being struck by further visions. I went to the eastern part of the Salvation Harbor, near the crossing of Fitz O'Callahan Street and Old Church Road. It came. The feeling of loneliness and fear was immense. I was a woman locked in her room, infected and slowly rotting. My body turned into something. It itched badly in my face. I had to hold the skin with both hands to prevent it from growing until I suffocated. I ended up sitting on the road crying until some Ismuther kicked me and ordered me away. The visions are testing me, playing with my mind. My old, forgotten fears come to life. When I was small, I was afraid to stay alone. I thought my parents would leave and never come back. Today I went to the eastern streets of Coverside, and the visions came on the corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. I felt I was alone, forgotten in a locked room, hungry and frightened. It was so scary to stay inside, but everything was much worse behind the door. Something scratched in the corridor, and there was terrifying screams from outside. I couldn't run, I couldn't hide. I just waited for Mom to return. So it seems like these are giving me locations to visit. Old Grove. E. Brand Street in Central Shells. Lombard Street in Eastern Reed Heights. Even Ward and Baker Streets. Western Advent near Oak Street. Western Reed Heights and Washington Street. I passed Eben Street and was heading toward Oak Street. Grimhaven Bay. Walking down Whisper Street, I barely made it to Hubert Avenue. And in Coverside, near the corner of Old Church Road and Tanner Street. So there's two in Coverside. Maybe I should visit one of them. Let's do this one. St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. What was it? St. Elmo and Kingport. So St. Elmo and Kingport is all the way over there. What was the other one that I had? This one here, right? Tanner and Old Church. My interest is piqued. It's like right there. I feel like I should be able to make it. The Cyclops too. So much for going this way. These NPCs just kind of walk randomly. Looks like I have to go around. Or maybe even go back and take the boat. There seems to be a lot of people here, but nobody you can even really talk to.
Stop it.
Which I find super strange. He's having the hysteria. So let's check this again. Today I fell asleep on the street. I'm sure it's connected to my vision somehow, because I felt the same nausea and headache as before they strike. It happened in Coverside, near the corner of Tanner Street and Old Church Road. I felt dizzy and my mouth was full of bittersweet taste. I saw a woman with kind eyes giving me a drink and whispering something. I immediately fell asleep and spent nearly half the day lying in the dirt like a hobo. It's a miracle nobody stole anything from me. So whatever it is, I'm almost there. So this is Old Church in Tanner. Now looking around, I see these things. I don't really know what they mean. Ow. What the fuck? Aborting this mission. Deuces. Get out. Not a big fan of that. I'm gonna go with I'm getting the heck out of there. As you can see, I was starting to get those visions that the diaries were speaking of.
Hello, officer.
Well, look who finally decided to show up. If it ain't Charles Reed, the genius that cracked the case of Albert Throgmorton. Captain Caleb Lyons at your service. What can we simpletons do to assist you, Mr. Holmes?
Look, all I want is access to your records during my investigations. Otherwise, I'll keep out of your way.
Oh, that's all you want, is it? Was making us look like idiots in front of Mr. Throgmorton not enough for you?
Look, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intent.
Well, that's what you did. A newcomer must know his place. Let me be frank. You ain't welcome. You slip up, don't cross a T or dot an I, and I'll treat you like every other criminal in here, newcomer.
Hey, easy, Officer Lyons. I don't want any trouble.
Well, good. That's a start. You can use the archive, but only because you have Mr. Throgmorton as your patron. Keep that in mind, Reed. Don't waste my time, newcomer.
So, I'm interested to see what I can find in here. If anything, I guess. So this is the archive, apparently. The hotel owner allowed me to look through the weird notes he found. Okay. Look, this is kind of cool. So let me see what we get, what we have here. The city, no matter how badly the flood damage, it has an unnatural appeal. I can't stop myself from walking even, if it means being struck by further visions. Actually, you know what I want to do? So we are in Coverside. Disney, my mouth is full of bittersweet taste. I saw a woman with kind eyes giving me a drink and whispering something. Suspect. So what do I do after this? Oh, do I have to select 3? Hell. Actually, nothing, huh? Well, alright guys, we're coming up here on 2 hours. I think we're gonna call this a day, or at least for now. This is a pretty good game. I mean, as you can tell, the graphics aren't anything to write home about. I mean, then again, nothing that Bethesda puts out has amazing graphics either, and we all eat that stuff up. I mean, it's simplistic. I knew what I was getting into as far as graphics go when I found out that Frogware was doing this. The mystery behind it's cool, the lore is cool, the gameplay is fun. I like that it's kind of testing my brain. I also like that it's playing with me a little bit. So I can't wait to dive back in here. When that's going to be, I'm going to say probably Sunday will be the next chance that I actually get to fool around and play with this. So the next thing that we do, I'm probably going to be in this archive looking things up. What else you can expect from me? Well, pretty shortly here I'm going to start playing my WWE 2K19 Universe mode. I finish up my Royal Rumble event, and then I'm going to play a little bit of Overwatch. Both of them are probably going to be shorter streams, as this is a 2-hour stream and I only have a certain amount of allotment per day for that. So guys, thank you very much for watching. You know exactly what I want you to do now. If you like what you see, do me a favor, press that like and subscribe button on YouTube. It helps the YouTube gods know that you're watching and helps me show up in searches with YouTube's algorithm. Speaking of which, in the description there on YouTube, if you're watching this on PC or mobile, you'll see in the description a link that reads twitch.tv/paladin. That's my Twitch channel where I'm broadcasting this live. If you go there, you can press the follow button. You'll see it. It has a little heart by it. And when you press that, what it'll do for you is it'll let you know every time that I'm on playing a game. Sometimes I don't upload things to YouTube, so things on Twitch might actually be Twitch exclusive. Anyway guys, thank you very much, and I'm going to catch you next time. Xbox, stop broadcast. I hate this connect. Xbox, stop broadcast.